10 months. I've hunted with it. I've shot a ton with it. I wanted to do a review of what I think now versus when I got the bow. So just a quick breakdown. I want to discuss the strings on this first. It's a zebra string. Everyone thinks they just flat out suck. They're no good. They don't last over 900 shots. So I've ran, I've probably shot 5,000 shots at least through this since January. My string is still in good shape. You can tell it's getting to the point where I probably should look at changing it. But I'm sighted in with it still. The only thing I noticed is that the peak started to turn after, I don't know, 200-300 shots, and I had to readjust the peep. And then after I shot it a ton, probably another 1,500 shots to 2,000, it started to turn again. So I can tell that my string is not going to be 70 pounds like it was when I bought this bow. I'm probably pushing 67, maybe 66 at this point. I'm gonna replace the string here. Obviously I've had to replace my D-loop, and that is normal wear. This bow is sturdy as hell. Easy to tune. I love that aspect. I've only had to retune it one time on this same string because I changed my broadhead setup mid-season. But overall, the 28-inch VXR, I freaking love this bow. I'm gonna keep this bow next year. I don't see them making any crazy adjustments for the 2021 bows. I don't know obviously what's to come, but they just dropped their target bow. Well, hunting/target bow, Mathews did. It looks cool. It looks very similar though to what the setup is. I might go shoot it just out of curiosity, but the VXR, 100%, I love it. So I actually did, in my first video on the VXR, I talked about not having a stabilizer. So I went and bought a 10-inch stab to put on the front of this to see if it helped with accuracy, and it did not. I shot it for a good 2 months, just consistently, and I just felt like I could not get a consistent shot out of it. Took off the stabilizer, and I'm getting consistency. On top of that, the Chris B handle, I'm not advertising for him at all. I kept debating between this and this dang nose button the Bowmars keep talking about. I keep going back and forth. I'm like, should I buy it? No. I tried a rubber band on the string, and that actually worked out really well for a nose button. I just tied a rubber band on it and put it where my nose would touch, and it worked. I didn't really care for that nocking point though. I really didn't. So I took it off. I shoot just fine without a nocking point where my nose goes. I always just put my string on my nose. For those of you that do use that, great, it works good. Go for it. Buy 6 of those nocking points, I don't care. But the handle, the Chris B handle I put on, this is something interesting because I didn't think it would be that much different because I've seen this handle on a couple of my buddies' bows. This handle on the back, I don't know if you can see that, but on the back side, it's very flat and it's a wider grip than the one that comes with the bow. The standard grip that comes with the bow. Don't get me wrong, the standard grip is nice, but you're gonna find inconsistencies with it because it's a thinner profile handle. So I picked this up online. It's got different colors, whatever. I don't really care about the coloring, but the handle itself fits perfectly on there. I went and shot it today, and I was getting perfect groupings. And I went from 20, that was interesting though. When I put this on, I had to resight my bow in just a tad from 20 all the way out to 60 yards, and then the rest is a slider. But everything was on after I made just a slight adjustments on my pins. Barely moved them, but now I'm perfectly on, and I am actually shooting more accurate with this handle grip because it forces you to do the same shot with your grip every time. it just sits perfectly in the palm of the hand, and you have less torque, so you have less room for mistakes. So that is awesome for this bow. If you can pick one up, find one online, solid idea. But I was gonna tell you one last thing. I was out turkey hunting. I'm talking about the durability of this bow. I'm out turkey hunting. I see this gobbler, 9 to 10 inch beard, just a big gobbler. For Utah, that's big. I go taking off running after this thing, and I do one of those. I kicked a rock and it just sent me Supermaning. I hit the ground, boof, and I'm laying there like I got knocked out. I probably did. I don't feel like I had hit my head, but you almost feel like a blackout when you're just going down. Anyway, I still have a scar on my leg from hitting rocks. My bow got thrown out in front of me, a little yard sale, if you will. And I'm like, no. And this is spring, first hunt with the bow. And I'm looking at the bow and I'm like, geez, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm looking at geez, what do you call these, brackets or arms? I don't know. These parts, this bracket here, the only damage on it was that little teeny nick. And I'm telling you right now, I must have got lucky, but literally this sucker landed on a ton of rocks. That was the only thing that was wrong with it. It wasn't even marked on this side. It was just the edge of that. I went home, shot my bow to make sure it was still on. Perfectly fine. I would recommend this bow to anyone who's looking up for an upgrade. Shoot the zebra strings if you buy it new. If you get it used, I would replace them just to be safe, so you're not damaging anything on the bow. Other than that, VXR was a great purchase. I don't work for Mathews or help them out at all, but I love the design that they have. The bow's just dead in the hand. It's weighted so good where when you pull back, easy draw, there's no valley, no dip, it just goes into place, and you can just sit there. You can sit there for a long time if you had to, waiting for an animal to come in and commit. It's easy, it's an easy bow. It's so smooth, so quiet. The arrows I'm using actually are the stock archery arrows, obviously. The 4mm is what I'm using this season. I've got the black gold sight slider, just a QID rest. I'm thinking about switching that out here shortly just to upgrade a little bit. Other than that, great bow. I'm not gonna switch. I'm not going to. I've shot different brands, and this is just super smooth. Definitely worth the money. And get one. Get one if you don't have one. That's my 2 cents of having this for the last 10 months. Yeah, there you go.